In this episode, Seung travels to the US to meet Ryu and she brings him back to her dorm. The next morning, Seung quietly watches Ryu as she peacefully sleeps. Then a text pops up on her phone, reminding her about a date she has later. Just as Ryu wakes up, he tells her that she received a text. As she read the text, her face lights up with joy. When he asks whose message it is, she reveals that it's from her boyfriend. Hearing this, his expression dims with sadness. In the present, Seung and Ryu goes to his office. Just as Ryu is about to stumble, he catches her with a gentle touch. They soon move to the kitchen where Ryu begins cooking a meal. Seung offers to help, but Ryu insists on handling it herself. She prepares a special dish and eagerly asks Seung to taste it. As Seung takes a bite and enjoys the flavors, Ryu gazes at her with a quiet affection, asking if he really likes it. Just then, Moyum arrives and Seung steps out to grab a drink and wonders why Ryu was looking at him like that. Moem brings up how she would love to see Ryu in a wedding dress. Ryu shows her a photo of herself in a wedding dress, which makes Moem smile. She gently asks, "Do you still have feelings for him?" Ryu then softly says, "Yes, I still do." At that moment, Seung comes back to get his wallet and leaves quietly, looking sad as he accidentally overhears their conversation. Ryu's mom and her friends go to a Buddha temple to pray for their families, asking for good things for their children and husbands. Ryu goes to Seung's office. There, Myung suggests that Ryu join a new project for Gripe's store, but Seung disagrees, saying they only worked with her for the building project, which is now over. He adds that Ryu also has her own plans. Myung understands and suggests they hold a farewell party for Ryu. Later, they all gather at a nice restaurant, enjoying good food and sharing memories together. Meanwhile, Moem is out on a walk and runs into Danho, who is searching for a four-leaf clover. Moem decides to help him look, and after some time, she finds one. Danho is very happy, taking the clover from her happily and going off with a smile. Later, Ryu asks Seung if he really doesn't need her help with the project. Seung reassures, telling her to focus on her dreams while he handles his work. Just then, a woman suddenly hugs Seung from behind, catching him off guard as he turns around. Surprised to see Young Tai, his ex-girlfriend. She excitedly tells them that she has received an offer to work with a major home decor company, specializing in products like pots and bowls. She adds that she needs Seung's help for the project. Myung jokes that Seung should help since she's gifting him a handcrafted bowl. Seung tells her he needs time to think about it. Young Tai invites Seung to visit her office over the weekend to see her work, and he can decide after that. The next morning, Ryu notices her brother hasn't woken up yet. She climbs on top of him, playfully shaking him awake. Seung stirs and catches her by surprise. His brother gets shocked after seeing this. Seung tries to get up quickly, but ends up hurting his foot in the process. Concerned, their father checks on him and assures everyone that Seung is fine but needs to rest for a few days. However, Seung insists that he has to go to the workshop. Ryu steps in and says, "You can't even drive in this condition. I'll go with you." After few hours of driving, they arrive at the workshop. Jung Tai welcomes them warmly and proudly shows off her setup. She explains that she also makes sauces and pastes here with the help of her neighbor aunties and says, "I need your help today." Ryu excitedly, ready to join in. Both Seung and Ryu join the neighbor aunties in preparing the onggis. Young Tai then takes Seung inside to show him her pottery work, asks, "Would you like to try making one yourself?" And they begin shaping pots together. Ryu watches them quietly from a corner, a mix of curiosity and something deeper. When Seung steps outside, she can't help but tease him. "You and Young Tai look really good together. Maybe you two will get back together," Seung says. "Mind your own business," before walking away. Just as Seung steps outside to clear his head, Myung and the company team arrive. Young Tai lights up when she sees them, greeting everyone warmly. She says with excitement, "Perfect timing. I could use your help with making sauces today." The group quickly gets involved, filling the workshop with chatter and teamwork. While Ryu was carrying a heavy jar, she tripped over a stone and fell hard onto the ground. Seung immediately ran to her side, worrying all over his face. He scolded her gently, "You shouldn't be doing this." Jung Tai quickly guided Ryu to the washroom and handed her a fresh set of clothes, making sure she was comfortable. Rain began to drizzle softly, while Ryu was preparing dinner for everyone. When dinner was ready, everyone gathered around the table. The taste of the food lit up their faces with smiles. "This is so good, Ryu," everyone praising her cooking. The rain outside felt like a comforting melody to a perfect evening. Later in the evening, Jung-tae approached Sung and explained that the jar Ryu was carrying already had a crack. She was moving it to repair it. She wasn't careless. Sung feeling a bit guilty for scolding Ryu earlier. That night, Sung notices Ryu carefully opening the jars one by one. Curious, he walks over and asks, "What are you doing?" Ryu explains with excitement. "There's a 100-year-old sauces in one of these jars. I'm trying to find it." With a small laugh, he joins her, helping her check each jar. After some time, Ryu opened a jar, her face lighting up with joy. "I found it." But then, Ryu tells, "No, I found my dream. I want to cook. It's what makes me happy, and I've never been more sure of anything." Sung's smile widens and recalls Jung-tae told him earlier. "You know, I've always been a little jealous of Ryu because you're a completely different person when you're with her." In this moment, Sung realizes he really likes her. And that's the end of this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our next recap. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.